What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the Deadpool and Wolverine. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at Deadpool and Wolverine. So let's see what we've got going on. Taking a look at the packaging, we are in the same packaging that Logan and Deadpool were in. It's the Deadpool and Wolverine packaging, so that totally makes sense, right? Similar box style to our Legacy collection and our previous Fox collection, right? The only difference, these being a little bit smaller than those Fox boxes. I'll have a quick comparison of that here in a moment, but just like with the Logan and Deadpool figure, you've got the great logo here, Deadpool and Wolverine. Wolverine, Deadpool on that side. You can see what you've got in there. You've got some hands, you've got some accessories. Extra head for Wolverine, so your unmasked Logan head. No extra heads for Deadpool. I'm not sure. Maybe it would be cool to get something, slight mask up or mask off head, right? Deadpool, Wolverine on the side there. Flip it to the backs of the boxes. And there's your information. You've got the important stuff at the bottom. That's what's in this wave. Again, they just give you the Deadpool thing as a little joke. I like that. That's fun. There are your blurbs. Deadpool, having hung up the Deadpool suit after a midlife crisis, Wade Wilson is forced to wield the katanas once again to save his universe and finally find a higher purpose. And for Wolverine, a broken and shame-fueled Logan reluctantly joins Deadpool's side to fight for their survival and a shot at redemption. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know what that's all about. If you haven't, you're probably wondering what that's about, right? Deadpool, Wolverine on the side, some images at the bottom, Marvel Legends at the top, and of course, at the top of each box, you do have that Deadpool and Wolverine logo. Let's get them out of the box. Fresh out of the box. The colors look pretty good, right? They look pretty on point for the movie representation. I know there's some slight issues with the suit for Wolverine, but it still looks pretty good in action figure form. I really wanted to love both of these figures, but as soon as I pulled out Deadpool from the box, I noticed that he was missing his sheath on the leg there. It's supposed to be attached fresh out of the box, and it's completely missing from mine. So I don't love that. That's definitely, not something you want to see when you're picking up an action figure, something missing like that. But we'll put that aside, make a little note of that, and see what else we've got going on here. Let's take a closer look. Moving in closer, it's a good-looking Deadpool. Looks like it is from the movie. Love the representation. Love the bright red that they've used here. Really does well with contrasting to that black. You've got some good detail in the belt down there that really highlight that. Of course, you've got the guns. You've got the holsters for the katanas in the back there. Sheaths, I should say. You've got the gold on the hands there. My only real complaint is obviously going to be the missing piece here, right? So there's a big chunk now missing out of my figure. And for me, I typically don't get a lot of QC issues with my figures, my Marvel Legends figures, which I'm grateful for because there can be a lot out there. But I've now had 3 in pretty rapid succession dating back to the HasLab Giant Man, right? My Beyonder was missing that huge chunk out of its lapel, and now this is missing that. I don't love that. But on the positive side for this figure, at least we're not getting a straight repaint of our previous movie Deadpool figures, right? So I like that. So we'll put the negative stuff aside, we'll move into what the figure is, and we'll talk about it. Alright, as I pointed out before, you do get some good gold detailing in here to really just highlight some areas, adds a little bit of depth on an otherwise pretty basic scope, right? It's black and red. That's the costume by design, but it does add a little bit of pop to that. And it looks good. I like it. You can see here some new body here for Deadpool. It is a nice looking figure, so that's why it's a little disappointing when there's an issue. For your hands, you do get your two slightly open fists, your katana yielding hands, if you will. And you've got your trigger fingers, your gun wielding hands. So there you go. You've got options. You've got two sets, exactly the type of hands you need. You have your katanas, which, as usual, they'll just pop right in there. They each have a side that flows a little bit better, so do as you must with that. But yeah, nice and easy. Looks good as we're used to. You also get your knife, which, it would go here. Yeah. Pistols are a separate piece, so you can remove those and use them as you'd like. I would have loved to have gotten the gold-plated pistols with this figure, but presumably they had these in production well before we even knew that that was going to be a thing. So if you really want it, I guess a little bit of gold paint goes a long way. For your articulation, the head will go down to about there, chin touching about the base of the neck. Head looks up to there, so you get some pretty good upward range there. It is on that dumbbell inside the neck, so you get a lot of movement, and it is on the double neck, so you get the movement at the bottom as well. So plenty of range in the head neck area. You like to see that. You are on a butterfly at the shoulder, so you get that movement forward and backward. Rotation all the way around. Arm goes up and out to about there. Upper bicep cut, and you are double jointed pinless at the elbow. Ab crunch, hip swivel, so pretty basic there. Leg kicks up to there, back to about there, and then you can go up. The pistol is going to limit you upward a little bit there, but without it, you can get it to right about there. Upper thigh cut, double jointed, pinless at the knee. Nothing at the calf, boot area. Hinge and swivel at the ankle. Hinge at the wrist. Your trigger fingers do give you the vertical hinge, and your fists give you the more traditional horizontal hinge. For comparison, here he is backed up against our first movie, Deadpool. You can see they are roughly the same height, which you would expect them to be. I wouldn't expect any difference in height or size. The newer one seems a little bit more slender, though, if that's any point for you. But they are generally in the same height area. Taking a look at Wolverine, we can get a good idea of our official MCU Wolverine, right? So, as far as the costume goes, I mean, it's pretty damn close to what the movie was, right? So, I'm not going to belabor any points on that. We all understand that these go into production well before the movie finalizes any sort of design, so there are going to be issues. Not to make excuses, but I mean, that's just it. That's how it was when I was a kid growing up with toys, and that's how it is now. So somewhere down the road, we'll get a more accurate one. We'll probably get one with ripped off sleeves, right? It's just the name of the game. If you're not into the actual figure that's come out, just wait. There'll be another one that you like a little bit better, probably, maybe. I don't know. It's an action figure. I'm playing with toys here. Face sculpt, I think, looks pretty decent, right? You've got some good 5 o'clock shadow going on in there. Cowl looks pretty good. It's got some little design in there, kind of like that. Just add some good depth to the figure, to the design overall. So I'm digging it. I'm here for it either way. Just a cool looking Wolverine, and good to see Hugh Jackman in some type of tiger stripe suit, right? The head is on that dumbbell up there as well, but only the single neck. So you don't get that base point of articulation at the neck here for this one. And here's your Hugh Jackman likeness. Pretty damn good. Just like the Headpool and Logan one. You can see pretty similar head, but they are not the same. This one actually looks a little bit longer in hand, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so they're both really good likenesses for Hugh Jackman. Similar in design, but not the same. For your hands, you do get your set of clawed hands, as you would expect, and they're the nice thick claws, so I like that. Anytime they use those, I'm here for it. They just look good. They look so much better than other options in the Marvel Legends line, that is. For your alternate hands, you get a fist, and then you get an open hand. For your articulation, he will look down to there, chin not quite touching the chest. Head goes up to there, so you get a decent angle backwards, but not too much. Some good motion side to side, some rock. You get plenty of movement in that head because of the dumbbell there, so I like that. You do have a smaller butterfly there. Gives you some range back and forth, but not a ton. But it does, like I said, give you a little bit. You'd like a little bit more, right? Wouldn't you? Arm does move all the way around. You get some good motion, though, with that shoulder joint. So I like that. I mean, it makes up a little bit for it, right? The epaulet here is molded into the shoulder. You do have your upper bicep cut there, and you are double jointed, pinless at the elbow. Ab crunch, hip swivel, leg kicks up and out to there, back to there, up and out to there. Upper thigh cut, double jointed, pinless at the knee. Nothing at your boot calf area. And you do have your hinge and swivel at the ankle, hinge at the wrist. For a comparison, here he is backed up against the Logan from this little mini wave here from Deadpool and Wolverine. You can see in the tiger stripe costume, he is a little bit shorter. I would account that for the fact that he's wearing the costume underneath the civilian attire here. It's going to bulk him up a little bit, right? I don't know if that was the intended case, but that's the rationalization that I have come to in this scenario here. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. There is your Deadpool and Wolverine from the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. An okay set of action figures. They look pretty decent, very representative of the source material. Some tweaks are going to have to be made, in a year or two when we get the updated versions of these figures. But for now, they're pretty good stand-ins, right? Like, I look at them, I know what they're from on the shelf, I will know what's going on, so I'm okay with what I see here. The things I don't like are the missing pieces, right? That really takes away from the joy of collecting the action figures when something is just obviously missing, right? So I would love for that not to be the case, but it happens from time to time, and I'll figure that part out. Wolverine, I would like to see a cowed face with an expression, right? Angry, preferably. I just think that adds to a level of displayability for any figure, but certainly for Wolverine, and in a pose, like, it would just look cool if he had some sort of expression on the face. The head sculpts we got were good. They look good, so don't get me wrong there. I do like what we got. It would just be nice to get those expressive faces. For Wade, I would have loved to have seen an unmasked face just to go with this. It's a nice addition, and just give me something like that in the set, and I'm okay, right? Overall, pretty good, pretty decent, pretty popular, right? These sold out pretty much everywhere, except for maybe one or two places, and they're occasionally popping up at like Target and Walmart. So if you're on the hunt for these, it might be a little bit harder to come across, and I do wish you luck on that. At the end of the day, am I happy with what I purchased? Am I satisfied with the purchase? I would say yes, right? It's a Wolverine figure, so count me in. I'm already your target audience on that, and pretty easy to please in that regard. The Deadpool, is it a needed upgrade? I like the color, right? I like the bright red. Do I have every other movie Deadpool? Yes. Do you need to get this one if you already have those? No. Just wait for the next one, because the next one will probably have those gold pistols and some other things and be the better version of this. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But it's your money. Do what you want with it. Collect what you want, right? At the end of the day, that's all it's about. Folks, that's the 2 cents. I appreciate you listening to me ramble on. Appreciate you listening to my diatribe about the missing pieces here and what's going on with that. So I just appreciate you being here. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.